you doing lying on the floor?
Cartoon Network.
Here I go, I'm about to freak the flow. About the
Cartoon Network.
and things they show. We got the super adventures, tune heads, and late night. It's black and white, but everything's alright. But I'll break it down a little bit more. Tell you what they have in store, what it's tunes you're looking for. We got Fred Flintstone and Bonnie Rubble, my man.
Creative, unique, and packed with imagination. These are the cartoons that live outside the industry. Shows that might never get made the normal way, but through pure effort exist in spite of it. Join me today as I go through the good, the weird, and just plain craziest of the bunch. This will be part of an ongoing series where I show you that indie animation rocks.
I thought you were just making shit up when you ordered that. Is it even edible?
Yeah, papi. You want some?
The first thing that we're talking about is short, but I think it has a lot of promise. Bizarre Town is an animated series about, well, I don't really know what it's about, but the stuff I've seen so far makes me want to find out. Created by Quiet Viking, the short features what I think is a frog lizard thing.
What the fuck is that?
And is that the RX-782 Gundam as seen in the hit Super Famicom game SD The Great Battle? Probably not. The short shows the two stuck in traffic and basically just vibing while they wait. It's a really quiet kind of show, but the humor is definitely still there. I appreciate shows that don't try and be all in your face with the jokes all the time. Sometimes the subtle humor is a lot more effective, and this show proves it. Something as mundane as showing off the food you ordered can be funny as long as it's framed right. I especially appreciate the sound design on the burger, as just hearing it makes you think of how gross it might be. There's some other good jokes like the lizard guy making it seem like he's putting on some music, and then just making the robot dude listen to the worst sounds of one of those eating videos you always see floating around YouTube.
Delicious. What the hell is this?
Quick sidebar, those are the only videos where I've ever told YouTube to not show me them anymore. What is so interesting about watching a soccer mom stuff her face with honeycomb and raw salmon? Clean yourself up, Pooh Bear! Forget about gotta get up, you gotta get out. Besides the chill tone, I also really like the style they're going for. Very recognizable and slick. Like, look at the little robot dude in his little puffy jacket, that's good stuff. While the texturing could use a little work, Quiet Viking did say he's new to 3D animation, and I can only assume that it'll get better over time. Right now, this teaser animation is the only thing that's out for it, but when the full show drops, I'll definitely be there to support. Quiet Viking says he wants to just get out there and make something, and even if there are kinks along the way, at least after this is done, he'll have learned a lot. And man, how can you not get behind an attitude like that? Go give Bizarre Town a watch. There isn't much there yet, but its potential can only grow from here.
I guess Will's just for me. We're like soulmates.
I love you, Biddy.
Welcome to the rainbow floor, dude.
This next one is crazy. Rainbow Floor is a show created by Daylon Warren and Barry Strum, and I have no idea how they made something of this quality. The music and animation are basically TV level, and I mean good TV level. And the whole thing is good vibes throughout. The show follows Hakeem, a lovesick rat trying to reinvent himself in college. He loves watching movies, especially romantic ones, and although he's got the spirit, he tends to get over his head a lot when it comes to finding a partner. He's joined by his friends Dirk, a stoner bat with a tendency to space out, and Chickpea, a lizard anarchist who lives by the motto of be gay, do crime. You can see why she's my favorite. This show is absolutely dripping in style, and I love everything about it. The squiggle vision used for all the characters' outlines, the diverse character designs, and the cool anaglyph filter that makes the whole thing just feel like a trip. This is what I mean when I say adult animation could be so much more than what it is right now. And stuff like this is definitely a step in the right direction. The characters are all likable too. I already mentioned that Chickpea is my favorite. I love her rowdy nature and the way she just does what she wants. Hakeem is adorable and Dirk just feels like a bro. It's hard not to love the main trio. But what's really cool is how this show goes above and beyond when it comes to rep. The creators were adamant in letting you know this is a show for the LGBTQ community, and basically everyone is represented here. Hakeem is bi, Dirk is gay, and Chickpea is a lesbian. I think it's really cool that stories like this can exist now and that they can help a lot of people looking for someone to relate to. It's also very heavy into stoner culture too, if you couldn't tell by the visuals and the music.
Why is there a leopard on the Cheetos bag? Wait, it's a cheetah.
This thing would fit right in with stuff like Mission Hill and Daria, and I would love to see this on TV one day. Streaming would be cool too, but man, some shows just beg to be on TV, you know? It would help lend to that analog feeling. And just think of the bumpers. I always think about the bumpers. I think the only problems I have with it are that for the voice acting, some of the dialogue feels a little too low and slow. I think the voice actors do a good job, just that the pacing and levels could use a little work. Nothing some polish couldn't fix. Also, after a while, the colors might start to get grating. I was fine, but I definitely feel like some people wouldn't be able to look at it for too long. Maybe just tone it down a smidge. Both of the creators are professionals in the animation industry, and that shines through with how quality a project this is. I haven't heard any news about a Kickstarter or when more is coming out, but I will be there when it finally drops. Because I can't wait until my next visit to the Rainbow Floor.
As the waters of destiny put out a new flame, Hakeem Martin keeps his head in the game.
That doesn't sound like mopping.
Sorry.
No problem at all. I am sure that Pinky and I are going to have so much fun here. Okay.
The next one is short but sweet. Valorant High feels like it was ripped straight out of one of those cartoon showcase style shows like Kablam or What a Cartoon. It's really simple, but I think it does a good job of getting across what the show could be in the future. Created by Alvaro Gonzalez, Valerian High stars Luna, a shy girl who was just transferred to a new school. One of the friendlier students decides to come to her rescue and show her around, only for Luna to find that this school is home to a very colorful cast of characters. Like, literally, since besides the characters, everything else is in black and white. I think the main thing that stands out about this pilot is the style. It's definitely minimalistic, but it makes it work. All of the character designs are so sharp and appealing. He really got a lot out of characters that are basically designed around shapes. Honestly, that's the way some of my favorite characters are designed. And I imagine that if this takes off, it'll get tons of fan art just based on how simple it would be to draw the characters. While the animation is limited, the posing is strong enough that it doesn't get distracting, and instead just adds to the appeal. I like the air of mystery that surrounds the school too. Everyone seems like a weirdo, and it makes you want to know more about the show. Plus, it has a mean girl as one of the main characters, so you guys know I'm already signed up. I do wish there was a bit more music in it though, cause sometimes things feel a bit too quiet. And since this thing is so short, you only get a base level understanding of how all the characters act. But it is a pilot, and I think that what was shown was enough to get the point across. Valerian High might be simple, but it definitely proves that it's more than just the sum of its parts.
I'm Luna, and I hope that we can all be friends.
Cartoon Network.
All right, boys.
Cartoon Network.
One, achievement.
Hey guys, in case you haven't heard, I'm working on my very own cartoon, Screen Time, a show about young artists trying to make a name for themselves in the social media ruled world, all while juggling jobs, relationships, and everything in between. I'm hoping to bring back that old MTV Adult Swim style of adult shows. Think stuff like Clerks Animated, Mission Hill, and Downtown. I'm currently working on a short, so if you want to help me make it, you can leave a donation or purchase a commission. Link in the description. Help me make something special. While this next one does have a bit of a pedigree, I think it's still safe to call it indie. X-Spice is an animated short created by X-Flag, a smaller anime studio that has worked on stuff like Promare, with help from Marza, who have worked on stuff like the Sonic movie and that one Lupin the Third movie. Also Spooky Graphic, a smaller studio that I think is really pushing the bar when it comes to 3D anime. This short follows Wasabi and Red Pepper, a team of heroes who go by the name X-Spice, and the tokusatsu vibes are heavy in this, which is a big reason why I love it so much. It follows the duo as they take on an evil organization, with Red Pepper taking on most of the fighting, with Wasabi mostly relegated to support, although she wishes she could be of more help, before she ultimately comes into her own and learns that her power isn't one to be messed with. I have no idea if there are plans for this to be a bigger series, but man, I hope there are, because this is a banger. Buttery smooth animation with a style that's both simple yet instantly iconic. It kind of reminds me of something like Mega Man Zero, very sleek and dynamic. It's really cool to see how far 3D anime has come since the early days, and while some studios still just see 3D as a way to cut corners, stuff like this proves that it's also a valid medium to tell stories in. The whole thing is set to a song by Scandal, a Japanese girl group that has been steadily growing since 2008, and if this is what their music sounds like, then sign me up. This stuff is my jam. Again, I'm not sure if there's gonna be more to come, but I def think this is the kind of idea that has legs. And it could honestly work as either a series or a movie, and you know people will be lining up to buy figures of Wasabi. It's me. I'm people. It's a very serious problem. I have to wear a patch or else I just keep buying figures. But X-Spice is a blast, and if you got 4 minutes to kill, you could spend your time a lot worse. Give this one a watch, and find out what it really means to be a hero.
How the hell did I lose to a bunch of street rats?
They must be cheating.
Cheating? Do we look like cheaters to you?
Alright, this next one needs your attention like yesterday. Ramshackle is unlike any indie animation thing I've ever seen. I've never seen something emulate that old hand-drawn traditional style so well. I cannot overstate how gorgeous this thing looks. Ramshackle is about the life of Stone, Skip, and Vinny, 3 street urchins conning their way through life and having a great time doing it. Created by ZZ, this show is based on their long-running webcomic, based on their even longer-running OCs. Yeah, that's right, move over Hazbin Hotel, you got some stiff competition coming your way. Everything from how it looks, to how it moves, to how it sounds is immaculate. I love the warm earth tones and the great lighting. It just makes everything look like sunset all the time. And the characters all seem really likable. I've never read the webcomic before, but after seeing this, I'm definitely going to check it out. Because if it looks this good when it's moving, the full illustrations have got to go crazy. But the main reason I want to talk about this is because by the time this video is posted, their Kickstarter will be running, and I need it to be made. So go give them some support. Ramshackle is bound to be something special, and I want to follow these 3 rascals as they make their way to the top.
Bugman presence confirmed. Prepare extraction.
You got it, boss.
Okay, this one is a doozy. and it might be my favorite out of this list. False Memory is a short created by Studio Flint Sugar, a Chinese animation studio. Honestly, lately I've really been enjoying Chinese animation. There's a sense of freedom and experimentation that I think is lacking from anime and Western animation, and I can't wait until I can do a deep dive into it. And False Memory delivers on that in a big way. Amazing animation, perfect atmosphere, and a plot that, while a little confusing, really resonated with me by the end. The story follows a group that fights against bugmen, entities created by the memories of certain individuals known as bug sources. These entities can be dangerous, and as such, it's up to our two heroes to track them down, contain, and recycle them. The bugman that they're after this time belongs to a boy that has been bullied his whole life, never quite feeling like he fits in. That is, until he finally made a friend that both understood and protected him. However, that friend tragically passed away, and the boy is left to wallow in loneliness and self-pity. And don't worry, I know that all sounds really heavy, but like there are still like cool fights and everything. I know, I was getting scared too. The best way I can describe this is that it has that old Gainax feeling. Very sketchy and loose with a great sense for motion and timing, coupled with those cozy early 2000s vibes that I love so much. The character design is top-notch too. I love how one of the angels uses her halo as a gun sight. That's like some next level coolness. But once you get past all the cool fight scenes, there's some real substance here too. This short deals with themes of depression and an over-reliance on nostalgia. Something I relate to all too well. Nostalgia is a great thing. It helps us feel cozy, thinking back to a simpler time when life just wasn't that complicated. And it can be really easy to just numb yourself to the world while trying to chase the highs of the past. But the thing is, it's the past. You'll never get that feeling back. Not completely, and that can be really scary. A lot of us are worried that we will never find that joy again. That raw, unfiltered zest for life that most of us felt as children. So we cling to our past and ignore our present, just hoping that one day, things really will be like the good old days again. But it won't. And that's okay. As long as you're alive, you have the opportunity to make things better for yourself. And the memories that you made along the way shouldn't be used as a crutch, but instead as things that help shape you into who you are today. You can't just cling to memories or one day things will go out of control. And that's exactly what happens to the boy when his memories of his friend go berserk and ends up turning into something that only destroys. But once he starts to look at those memories in a healthy way, they only end up making the boy stronger, and that's really sweet. I think there are plans to turn this into a full series, and guys, I need it! This is why I love independent animation so much. Such cool stories getting told in such unique and poignant ways. You just can't get this kind of stuff from bigger studios. They either just don't have the vision, or they won't let the people who do make their stuff. I hope all of you will check out everything on this list, or at least just one of them. There is so much love, time, and work put into these things. It's insane, and I hope that more people will start taking the next steps to bringing their projects to life. Because as always, indie animation rocks.